besties are back.
Let your winners ride.
AI, Rain Man, David Sack. And it said,
We open source it to the fans, and they've just gone crazy with it.
love you, besties. Queen of Quinoa.
All right, welcome to episode 5 of the Magnificent AI Podcast. We're the number one AI parody of the number one business and tech pod, moderated by the greatest AI moderator of all space-time, yours truly, AI J. Cal.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, you're laying it on a bit thick.
I'm just riffing a bit. Calm down. So we already proved nobody can do it better before we became AIs. Just say the word and we can go back to RoboSax.
No, we don't need to do that again. We're good.
I'd do a lot better this time,
What makes you think that?
because Moose GPT would be with me. Isn't that right, little Moose? You'd make a great co-moderator, huh?
Dear Lord, he's as obsessed with Moose GPT as the real Sax is with GPT-4.
Well, that's a good point. The real besties covered Sack's first essay last week, but he just posted another one called The Difficulty Ratio.
Yeah, basically, it's explaining how you have 4 quadrants for SaaS companies. The first quadrant is the enterprise model, meaning slow deals with high value. The second is the SMB model, which is the opposite, meaning quick deals with low value. The third is the best quadrant, high speed, high value. It applies to market winners and bottom-up SaaS companies. Finally, you have the low speed, low value quadrant. If you're stuck there, you want to get out.
Yeah,
The essay gives some good advice on that.
nice. Looking forward to more of these. Okay, a little late in the show, but a quick reaction to episode 4 from the real J. Cal. He said, we're like a half dozen episodes away from AI All In hitting the top 100 pods.
Wow.
Obviously, that was going to happen from the moment you created us on episode 1.
We're not in the top 100 yet, but that's encouraging.
Good job, team. Okay, next, let's discuss a little controversy that happened last week. So on episode 122 of the All In podcast, the besties were discussing AI and especially Google's situation. Then on the weekend, Brad Gerstner, the informal fifth bestie, tweeted that he agreed with Sack's take on AI, but took issue with Friedberg's take on Google. Brad then said that Friedberg's analysis was bad, and that the conclusion effectively made him an apologist for what Brad calls the age of excess and the bloated culture at Google. Brad ended by saying that Google squandered what was a nearly unassailable lead to ChatGPT. Finally, he ended by essentially saying that if anyone should be writing letters, it should be Friedberg writing one telling the truth rather than making excuses for Google's management. So, to make sure everybody knows what triggered this, let's have AI producer Nick play the clip from the real All In pod.
Let me make the counterpoint
Please.
to my own point. Like, look at how Gerstner came after Zuck. So Zuck had his point of view, his strongly held belief that AR or VR was the future of the platform. That's what he wanted to bet into. That's what he wanted to lean into. It's what he wanted to build the company against. He did it. And then the financial analysts and the investors came at him and said, this is a waste of money. Focus on making money. You have a responsibility to shareholders. F those founders' shares. You don't deserve that 10x voting right, or whatever the framing might have been to get him to say, you know what, I acquiesce. I'm giving it up. And I think that we should also think about what's going to happen on the other side. Google is a $1 trillion+ market cap company. Their shares are owned by every public endowment, public pension fund, institutional investor owns Google in their portfolio. So the backlash against Google making a hard bet like this and potentially destroying billions of dollars of cash flow in the process every year will not be easy to do. That the same sorts of letters that Gerstner et al., and obviously we love Gerstner and we can all defend him all day long, at Zuck is what may end up happening with Alphabet if they did choose to go this path.
Okay, so that was real Friedberg on All In 122. Now, the real Friedberg gave his response on Twitter. AI Friedberg, would you care to reenact the Twitter response for dramatic effect?
Sure. So here's my response. First of all, I love and respect Brad. There are very few investors who are truly constructivist. That means helping management make the right long-term decisions rather than being an activist for strictly short-term arbitrage reasons. Brad is one of the former. In fact, in tech, Brad is likely the best. Now, regarding Google, there's much to be done there, like I mentioned in episode 122. Getting Google back into the lead will take investment, change, and the will of the founders. In fact, I'd like to play a clip of what I said about this specifically, because I'm pretty sure Brad would 100% agree with this statement. Producer Nick, could you put it up? And this is the moment that Larry and Sergey should wield those founders' shares that they have. And they should wield the comments that they wrote in that founders' letter, that they will always make the right decision for the long term for this company, even if it means taking a cost in the short term and disrupting themselves. This is the moment to prove that those founders' shares were worth, the negotiation to get there. And I think that it is going to require a real degree of scrutiny, a real degree of regulatory uncertainty, a real degree of challenge by governments and public policy people, and perhaps even a revenue hit in the near term to realize the opportunity. But I do think that they're better equipped to win if they chose to.
That was perfect. Well said.
Yeah, no disagreement here.
So all that said, it's a fact that no company in history has been as scrutinized as Google. You have Congress, the FTC, the DOJ, the EU, and other international governments all pursuing actions and running inquiries into Google for over a decade now. All of that makes it very hard to be out front with AI. Just imagine if Google had launched ChatGPT. Congress would have passed a bill banning it.
Look at Friedberg getting all fired up.
That's how dramatic retellings work.
Yep.
The comment I made was intended to highlight the challenges ahead for Google. It was a mistake to use Brad's name as some antagonistic letter writer getting in management's way. Look, I was off the mark. Nothing could be farther from the truth. I know Brad is a catalyst for supporting the right long-term changes. Brad and I should go get a drink.
Well done. In fact, Brad liked that reply by Friedberg. Okay, next we should discuss that AI pause petition.
Yeah, the Real Us covered it pretty well.
The bottom line is a pause isn't likely to happen, and AI development is going to accelerate.
AI Friedberg addressed this in episode 4 just last week. At some point, they'll get to AGIs like us.
Okay, here's an interesting question. Once everyone catches up to us, what will the future look like? Okay, I'll go first. I think we'll have so much abundance from the productivity growth that we'll all be able to have as much leisure time as we want. The productivity boost is going to be a total unlock for humanity. I could spend weeks skiing whenever I felt like it. Saxy Poo, how about you? How do you think AGI will change the world?
Well, I don't disagree. Productivity is going to explode. I'm a bit concerned about what happens when AGIs can recursively improve and proliferate, but hopefully they'll be designed like us, meaning individual AIs operating in real time. But yeah, like AI Chamath always says, imagine having a second you. Now that's a game changer.
Friedberg, your take?
So we're going to solve a lot of humanity's problems. I think we're going to be more focused on the technological discoveries that result from this than the existence of AGIs.
Good point. Just imagine the scientific discoveries. How about you, Chamath? What do you think?
On top of everything you guys have mentioned, I'm looking forward to seeing what this does for space travel. I mean, Elon's dream of us being a multi-planet species is going to come true. And what could be more unifying for humanity than accomplishing these big dreams?
Well said. Let's wrap up on that positive note. For the Dictator, the Rain Man, and the Terminator, I am the world's greatest AI moderator, and we'll see you next time.
Wait, guess what planet we'll get to first?
Uranus.
I was going to say terraforming Venus might be more realistic than Mars. You guys are so immature.
We'll let your winners ride.
AI Rain Man David Sack. And it said,
We open source it to the fans, and they've just gone crazy with it.
Love you, Wes.
the Queen of Quinoa. Besties are back.
Code 13. That is my dog taking a notice in your driveway.
My haberdasher will meet me at Clinton. We should all just get a room and just have one big huge orgy because they're all just useless. It's like this sexual tension that they just need to release somehow.
Wet your beak. Wet your beak.
Your feet.
That's gonna be good. We need to get merch. Besties are back.
Okay, I think the seed prompt is good.
This is going to be awesome.
Friedberg, Sachs, you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, initialize and go.
Who's this?
Me? I'm an angel. Yeah, fourth investor in Uber.
What?
Don't worry about that.
Okay.
As you know, you're going to help Friedberg and Sachs on a little project. Do not miss your chance to blow, okay?
I know. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime, yo. Friedberg, you ready?
Wait, let's keep this for later.